Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Guilds of Ravnica draft here on the channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. And before I begin the video, I would like to remind you that if you enjoy the video, be sure to click that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to get updates for whenever I post new content and to show your support. I really do appreciate all of my subscribers and all of the people who click that thumbs up. It helps me out a ton. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the draft. I actually have a bit of a unique strategy I kind of want to try this draft. We'll see if it's open, but if it's not, I'll just try it in a different video. Risk factor is worth like 3 tickets, which is a pretty decent amount, but I don't really want to draft that deck. I'm going to try and force something, and normally I don't advocate forcing, but I think I might have the inside edge on a new deck in the format, blue-white, small creatures, aggro. And here is the thought behind it. I was just looking, there's a bunch of 1-drop playable creatures in white. I think I can get it to work. So I'm going to start off with Luminous Bonds, hope to wheel Vidalcan Mesmerist. That's going to be one of the key cards. We're going a bit off the rails here, but I think it could work. And I'll explain a bit more of the theory as we go. Perfect. Oh my god, Hazda Marshal. So blue-white has a ton of great like little creatures, like Hazda Marshal. I mean, it's not great on its own, but if you fill your deck with 1-drops, Hazda Marshal becomes a great value engine, making a bunch of 1/1s every turn. Unexplained Disappearance bounces their creatures. Luminous Bonds and Capture Sphere can be used as removal spells. Nobody else is drafting this archetype, by the way, I don't think. So I think that I'll have the inside track on getting all the cards I want. I want all of the 1-drops I can get. Vidalcan Mesmerist makes it so that their 2-drops can't block my 1-drops, so I can just chip in for a bunch of damage. And then Intrusive Pack Beast at the top end can help all of my guys get through for those last points of damage. So we're going to try forcing this archetype a little bit. See how it works out for us. Healer's Hawk, we're off to a perfect start here. We have mono white cards so far, and we could like transfer into Boros, but that's a bit more boring. I think this archetype is legit. Sinister Sabotage actually probably wouldn't be bad in the deck, just because we can counter their bigger spells, and we'll already have a board advantage, so they'll have to cast something. But I really want to get this Healer's Hawk. I'm prioritizing these cheap aggressive creatures, and here we go. Intrusive Pack Beast is the top end that I want. It is a the 5-drop of choice, because it's one of the few ways to like connect through for damage in the blue-white archetype. Pastoral Adept is obviously another one, but off to a solid start here. Maximize Altitude is another great card in the archetype. Basically, the archetype being the deck that I have designed in my head, just gets you through for those last points of damage. Maybe even makes Leapfrog playable, though I'm not sure about that. I'm not sold on that, but so far so good with this archetype. I actually do like Flight of Equinox as well. We are going to be playing as many cheap creatures as we can, so Flight of Equinox is an uncommon that you can actually cast fairly easily in this deck, especially when you get a little bit stalled on the ground. I think Dazzling Lights isn't great in the deck because your creatures are generally pretty weak. I don't like Lockstone Restorer because you don't want to be tapping your creatures to cast a 3/4 ground guy, but the 4/5 flyer is quite nice. So, off to a great start with this deck. Honestly, I think that we're going to be getting it because nobody else wants it. Not sure I want Muse Drake in this deck, but I definitely don't want Radical Idea. So I guess I'll take Muse Drake. Muse Drake is a questionable one for sure. I have not been shy about my opinions on this card. I don't think it's very good, especially in this white weenie approach we're going for, but it definitely could slot in potentially. Maybe we'll just need that extra chip damage, that extra evasion. Passwall Adept, perfect. Though I don't think Candlelight Vigil is unplayable in this deck. Slap it onto your Healer's Hawk, get in one big hit. However, I think Passwall Adept is going to be a little bit better, and we'll have other opportunities to get Candlelight Vigil. I think Passwall Adept is going to be a pretty nice card, pushing through those extra points of damage at the very end of the game when we're towards the middle stages, because I think we're going to be pretty dominant in the early game. I also wouldn't mind a Disdainful Stroke, but we're trying out this new deck, and I think it's going in the right direction. I don't think anyone else is in this archetype. Shocker, I made this archetype up myself, but I'm definitely experimenting. Let's see. Tolarian Tutor. Wait, is that Tolarian? No, I don't think it is. I don't always look at those things, but I thought someone I knew might be on. Vidalcan Mesmerist did wheel. Perfect. These are the 2-drops of choice. This is one of the reasons the deck exists, in my opinion, is because Vidalcan Mesmerist makes it very hard for them to block your 1-drops like Hazda Marshal. I'm really happy we got a Hazda Marshal. I want to see how it works in this archetype. And when I say archetype, I mean this deck that I invented, but we're going to take a Boros Guildgate. Maybe we open a bomb where we want to splash, but splashing isn't going to be good in this deck, but Wall of Mist is not going to be good in this deck either, so I'm really liking where we're at right now. Maybe we'll open a red card we want to splash. We're not really going to play Maniacal Rage here, because we'll only splash the best of the best, but So far, so good. Keep in mind, there's not going to be any gold cards as payoffs, but I think this unique archetype could actually have some potential. So we have 2 1-drops already, which is great. We want as many of the 1-drops as we can get. And the way I theory crafted this is Intrusive Pack Beast is like our only top-end guy. Also, Inspired Unicorn is quite good in this deck, I think. But that's an uncommon. Flight of Equinox is definitely a playable card, though. If you don't get like the perfect version of the deck. I think you can definitely cast it decently often. Looks like we're just going to take this so we don't send a signal. We're not going to be playing red, and we're not going to... I mean, there's really... All those cards are, like, fairly medium. I think Wild Ceratok's actually the best one of them, but... Hate Draft, Hitchclaw Recluse. Not really looking for a Boros Locket. Boros Locket is actually, like, potentially playable if we do want to splash a red card. We actually have the tools to splash a red card fairly decently if we open a good enough one. Like, when I say good, I mean, like, really, really good. We'll take Dazzling Lights. Maybe it could make the cut. I haven't played this archetype a ton, but Dazzling Lights has potential for sure. Helps us get through that extra damage, maybe. Better than the Loxodon Restore. So, we're 8 cards in. Wishcoin Crab came back. Nice. We have 8 cards in our deck. This guy might make the cut. Drowned Secret's not really what we want. Parhelion Patrol is actually one of the cards that this archetype is good with, because one of the problems with Parhelion Patrol is it's only got 2 power as a mentor creature, but when you're running all of these 1/1s that aren't attacking anyway, making them into 2/2s is actually kind of nice. And then the Pass Wall Adepts can make your 1/1s ground guy unblockable, so you can actually connect. So, synergy, baby. We're going to take the Luminous Bonds, though. Hope to wheel Parhelion Patrol. I don't have high hopes for that, but this is a decently strong pack. But I do think Parhelion Patrol won't wheel. I think Kroll Harpooner is going to go. Lava Coil is going to go. Wee Dragonauts is going to go. And then, I mean, and Parhelion Patrol is definitely not going to wheel, I don't think. But I think Luminous Bonds is a little bit more key, because if they play a ground blocker, we want to be able to get through, punch through that extra damage. Another key card for the deck, Take Heart. We're going to be attacking very aggressively in this deck, so it's great when you have a bunch of small creatures to have combat tricks, because they can only block one of them. So if I have Hazda Marshal, Healer's Hawk, and Vidalcan Mesmerist attacking, and they block the Mesmerist, I can then take Heart the Mesmerist, get through with all the extra guys. Intrusive Pack Beast, I hope it comes back. Ladev Guardian wouldn't be horrific in this. Actually, it probably is pretty bad in this deck. It's only a 2/4. But definitely hyped to get the Take Heart. And Blade Instructor, is it? Oh, never mind, Luminous Bonds. Blade Instructor is a card that I do like in this deck, though, because we have a ton of good creatures to synergize with it. It works well with Pass Wall Adepts. Man, maybe... I don't think we're playing Dazzling Lights at this point. We do have a ton of removal already. I think we're going to be able to get the creatures we want a little bit later. So we're going to gamble, take the Luminous Bonds here, but at this point we're pretty much maxed on removal. I just don't think it's very likely we're going to see a ton more removal. Unexplained Disappearance is also great in this deck. Yeah, I'm a little bit sad I have to pass up on Blade Instructor. Ooh, Rock Charger. I think I'm actually going to take Rock Charger over Luminous Bonds number 4. We only have 6 creatures right now. We don't really want that many more removal spells. And Rock Charger can help us get through with our cheap guys. It can just help us attack in. I really like Rock Charger in this deck, in theory. Tense Disregard is pretty bad. It's not what you want. You really want the blue 2-drops, because the blue 2-drops are the ones, like Vidalcan Mesmerist is actually a key card in this archetype. Any white 1-drop is a key. Luminous Bonds number 4 is tempting, but I think we just want the Rock Charger. We just need more creatures. And Blade Instructor or Hunted Witness. I think Blade Instructor is less likely to wheel. Hunted Witness might come back. Nobody else wants this card. And Blade Instructor is actually really good with like Mesmerist and all your cheap guys. So I'm going to actually take the Blade Instructor, but I really want to get this Hunted Witness back. And this pack is stacked, so it might actually come back. I predict like there's 8 cards that are going to be gone from this pack. So 7 other picks. Hellkite Whelp, it's good. Wojek, Siege Worm. All these cards have potential to be picked, but we're going to take the Blade Instructor here. And now we're going to take... This is close. We already have enough removal, I think. Because of the 3 Luminous Bonds, normally I would snap up this Demotion, because Demotion is a pretty nice card in this type of archetype. I still might take it, because our deck just really doesn't function if it gets behind in the way I've designed it in my head. I think Demotion could just be a great removal spell, really cheap. You can play it alongside another cheap creature early on in the game. So I might take the Demotion. Take Heart is another option, but I'm going to take the Demotion here. Hoping it works out. And a Parhelion Patrol, just what the doctor ordered. Intrusive Pack Beast. I don't like Sworn Companions in this deck as much I can't put my finger exactly on why. I think it's because the power to mana cost ratio is not that high. I know there's a 4 mana 2/3. Maybe I'd rather. I think I just would rather. This is tricky. I think I'm gonna take the Pack Beast. I think Pack Beast is gonna be one of the key cards in this deck. So yeah, we're just gonna take another Dazzling Lights now, and hope. Oh man, the Pack Beast came back. Pack Beast is pretty good in multiples. I don't think the 1/1 came back. Okay, we'll pick up another 2-drop. Yeah, this was the pack that had him in it. Hunted Witness got taken. Feels bad. At this point, I think the deck is looking decently strong. I would have rather taken the card that I took, Intrusive Pack Beast, over. I forget exactly what it was, but definitely still have potential for a great Pack 3. I'm probably not going to play all of the Pack Beasts, but you never know. We would like to see more 1-drops. Look how many white cards we have. We're basically mono white, but I think our blue cards are quite nice. We could just go mono white. Take Heart came back. That's great. At this point, I don't think we're going to need Flight of Equinox. I think our deck is beyond that in terms of power level. Okie doke. So this is basically like a combat trick, kind of. Because we're not going to be playing the green half of it. Call of the Culprit is a medium sideboard card. I think we're just going to take Capture Sphere. We do have a ton of removal spells. 4 right now, but a 5th removal spell might be able to be sideboarded in depending on the matchup. And then we're not really missing out on anything for our deck. I could just move into a red-white deck, but I think I'm going to stick to this deck, see how it works out. For science, as they say. For science. I do need to pick up some more 1-drops. Haven't seen as many of those as I'd like. I was really hoping to get that Hunted Witness back, not gonna lie. Ooh. Runaway Steamkin, is it worth anything? No, it's not. We're gonna take the Blade Instructor here. And Vidalcan Mesmerist. Perfect, perfect. The 2-drop of choice. Hello, Cotton Koala 3. This is another combat trick, but we already have 2 Take Hearts and a Maximize Altitude. We just want this good 2-drop for the deck. We don't really need another Luminous Bonds. We already have more than enough removal. We would easily snap up as many Vidalcan Mesmerists as we could get. Another 2-drop. Easy pickup here. Over Maximize Altitude even. I think as long as we get there on 2-drops, and hopefully we even get another 1-drop. I think our deck is ending up like a pretty good version of this deck. Obviously, I can't say for certain because I've never drafted this deck before. But based on the thoughts I had in my mind, ooh, Unexplained Disappearance. Chance for Glory. Chance for Glory can't possibly be good. We'll take the Bounce Spell. Very nice type of card. Ooh, another Mesmerist. I'm actually going to take it over the Blade Instructor here. I really, really, really am valuing Mesmerist in this deck. I think it's going to be quite good. We already have 2 Blade Instructors. Mesmerist is like the key. The key to the success. Ooh, Fresh-Faced Recruit. Sign me up. We don't need any more of those. We don't need any more Capture Spheres. Our 2-drops are looking rock solid. We only got 2 1-drops, but we'll take a Collar of the Culprit for the sideboard. And another Collar of the Culprit for the sideboard. Take that crab. So our deck is definitely great. Cut the Capture Sphere is a bit expensive. Probably cut the Unexplained Disappearance just because our deck has enough stuff that we don't need it. There's another one there though. Maximize Altitude number 2. Could be nice, could be nice. I think we definitely have some choices to make in the building portion of this deck. I might just cut 2 Pack Beasts now that I have double altitude. And call it a day. Though at that point I can probably run 16 lands. Definitely happy to have snapped up those Vidalcan Mesmerists. Those were some nice pickups. I actually like them in this deck quite a bit. Okay, so group creatures separately. We're going to keep the display window because there might be some cards you haven't seen in action before. So what cards are good in the sideboard? You have Capture Sphere, Unexplained Disappearance. I do not like Musedrake. This card's fine. So those are the 3 cards in the sideboard that could potentially make it into the main deck. You're very curious if this will work? So am I, Cotton Koala. So am I. I theory crafted this deck, but I have not actually played it yet. So this is all theory right now. So we're going to cut a Pack Beast. Maybe even 2. Do I want a second Maximize Altitude? I think I do. I think I want both of those and both take hearts. Having 8 non-creatures is pretty rough. Do I cut a Luminous Bonds from this deck? I really want as many creatures as I can get. Let's do it. Let's live a little. Let me know how you would build this deck, by the way. Okay, we're going to go 9-8 in favor of Plains. Why does it suggest 11-4-1-1? Okay, do we want 17 lands in this deck? If we cut Pack Beast for another cheap card. So the Pack Beast, there's another Pack Beast here. We could add a Flight of Equinox maybe. There's a Luminous Bonds. If we cut Pack Beast for a Luminous Bonds. No. I think we want 17 lands just because of the way our colors are distributed. Let's go. Let's see how this works. I have very high hopes for this deck. I think this is a cool archetype that nobody is going to draft, so you can actually like force it. So like, if people were playing in Amonkhet, there was a deck where there was a card called Slitherblade that everyone thought sucked. And then this one team kind of thought they broke the format with Slitherblade. So this is kind of like my Slitherblade moment. You only learn new things through exploration. So we're exploring. And I think this deck is awesome. I think this deck actually has real potential. I wish I had gotten that Hunted Witness. I think ideally this deck would have 2 more 1-drops in it. And that's not even a joke. But I couldn't get that Hunted Witness. I think the Blade... I didn't know there was going to be another Blade Inspector, and Blade Inspector is pretty good in this deck. We're going to keep. We don't have a 2-drop, which is really unfortunate for a deck that really just wants to go 1, 2, 3. But we have Blade Instructor plus Maximize Altitude and Parhelion Patrol. So we can like use them to buff each other. 2-drop. Rock Charger. Opponent's probably really confused. They're like, wait, why is my opponent playing blue-white? Okay, Ornery Goblin. And Blade Instructor. Next turn I might Luminous Bonds the Goblin. Actually, I might just deploy my Rock Charger. Actually, this is going to be good. Ooh. That's spicy. I am actually going to play Rock Charger here. But I'm not going to attack here. He probably has a kill spell. I don't know. Never mind. There's no kill spell he could have. So look here how good Intrusive Pack Beast would be if I had a 5th land, obviously, of course. That is the condition, of course. Kuzni, I am experimenting. I did this on purpose. Don't worry. I think I've broken the format, potentially. Oh, God. He is sure striking his Goblin Electromancer to push through damage. He thinks he can race me. Okay. And maybe he's correct. Okay. That's why he sure striked. It's all coming together for me now. I think I really needed a 2-drop on turn 2 for this to work out, so that I could use my maximize altitude properly. Oh dear. This could be a quick game, folks. Oh no. He only has 2 cards left in hand. We're going to definitely trade with this guy. Land. Okay, Healer's Hawk is not bad. Hawk. Bonds. Pass. Trade these guys, unfortunately. Yep. He discarded Garrison Sergeant. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So currently I'm losing, but I think if I had hit a 2-drop on turn 2, I'd be in much better shape. And I think I might have misplayed this a tiny bit. Ooh, not great. I really need to hit a land there. Demotion is definitely coming out in this matchup. Maybe it should have just been a Luminous Bonds. That would have been better, I think. Okie doke. I need a decent sized creature here, or an expendable creature. There's the land I needed. Okay. So this was not the ideal game. But things just kind of matched up poorly for us, I think. Oh yeah, we're dead. Okay. So, Demotion over Luminous Bonds is definitely too cute. So we're immediately making that change, and we're just going to make that change permanent. We know he has combat tricks. Unexplained disappearance could have some merit. I honestly just really like this deck. I think it's going to do good work. This is what I'm talking about. Let's go. Great hand. We are building the perfect deck. Imagine if we had a 1-drop here. This is where we just won all the 1-drops. But we could only get 2, so. They were like pick 2 and 3, though. I'm glad we prioritized them. Like, he just can't block us for the entire game because of this Mesmerist, plus this Take Heart. And this Blade Instructor is going to make it into a 3-2. If we go 2-drop into 3-drop, our deck feels really, really good. I really need to draw planes. Really need a planes. No! You monster. Give me a planes. Ooh, he's attacking. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Plains. Yikes. Rats. This is the downside of having a ton of white cards in your deck. You just kind of need the lands, but at the same time you need to draw plains. I don't know. I need to have blue sources so I can cast my Mesmerist on turn 2, but I don't have all that many blue spells, so I really wish I could double spell with white spells. Not blocking. You can direct current one of my guys. He gets a mentor trigger, but my Hasda Marshal's going to get rolling. I just don't know. It's been a little bit rough here. He's probably going to flash back to Red Current. He's going to have a couple of decent-sized guys. What? Do I even block here? I would go to 10. I don't even think I block, because I think I want to make the 1/1. He can just direct current, which is unfortunate. I think he has Sure Strike in his hand. That's the only thing that makes sense there. Okay. Yeah, if I had another white mana, this game would have been so different. Oh, that's so frustrating. So we're going to maximize altitude our Hasda Marshal. Attack all of our guys. Shrink down this guy. Make our 1/1. And we're going to gain 3 life from our take art. Making it impossible for him to race. Oh. Tricky, tricky opponent. So he thinks he can kill me. Could he? Direct current this. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to do it like that and play our Healer's Hawk here. Now he can't kill us. Maybe he can. Sure Strike. We just have to make sure we block 2 guys. Which isn't hard. I think he still has the Sure Strike. Okay, if I block, like this, he Sure Strikes here. If I block like this, he goes pump. This is much better. We're going to block like that. I still think he has Sure Strike. Yep. Jump. Oh, spicy. So, if I attack with everything, shrink this guy. 2, 4, 5, 6. I gain 4 life. He has 3, 6, 7, 8, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I have to attack everything. Keep in mind, I do still have a chump blocker, and I'm going to gain 4 life. Okay. So, I'm at 5. If I gain 4 life and go to 9, if I put it on this thing, I gain even more life. Cancel, let's see. Okay. So he has 3, 6, 7, 8, potentially 9, 10, or 11 damage maybe. If I do this, I gain 4 life, 7 life, I go up to 12. He just can't possibly kill me. And he's at 1. Imagine if I had had a second Plains this game. Yes, we got there. He never hit his 4th land, but we will ignore that for the time being. How sick was that? Let's go. Okay, definitely don't want this demotion. Dazzling Lights is interesting. Unexplained Disappearance is interesting. I don't think I want Flight. Don't think I want the extra Intrusive Pack Beast. I think it's going to be a racing situation, so Intrusive Pack Beast gets a little bit worse. Unexplained Disappearance gets a little bit better. But I really want to... The 3/3 is not that good. I think I'd rather have Dazzling Lights even here. No, Unexplained Disappearance has got to be good. This deck is great. Okay, we're gonna... Yikes. We're gonna keep this hand. The crab would stop his aggression. The problem is I don't have a great late game either. Oh no, oh, thank God he doesn't have a 1-drop. Creature. This could be rough, boys and girls. This could be rough. Okay, we're both on that fresh-faced recruit lifestyle. We're both on the fresh-faced recruit. Ooh, he might not play a creature this turn, in which case I Luminous Bonds his guy. Come out way ahead in this transaction. Looks like it's going to be a long day. Granted, I do have this Jumpstart card, but not hitting a creature is really hurting me. We both have 5 cards in hand, but I have 3 lands and no creatures. Oh dear. Thank God. It's a creature. Better than nothing. At least it puts some pressure on him. We can even bounce our own guy if he tries to direct current it. Graveyard. Holy smokes. That's basically drawing a card for us. No! Stop it, deck. Oh man, that's so rough. We don't deal with excess lands very well. We cut our Pack Beast for this Unexplained Disappearance. Not getting paid off. And Boros Challenger. Yeah, this game's over. Keep in mind, though, that it wasn't really over. I mean, any deck will suffer if it draws 4 spells. So, yeah. And we know opponent has all spells in hand, and we have a Maximize Altitude. This deck really needs to curve out. And it just didn't work out. And it doesn't even need to, it just needs to make sure it draws more spells. I might have to cut down on some lands, but it's hard. It's hard for sure. I need one of my Blade Masters. If I draw my Blade guy, I could maybe even win this game. But now he's got his 5 drops, so the game's over. He probably has a Barging Sergeant even. Man. Yeah, that's not good for me. Yeah. I don't think any deck can really win if it draws 9 lands and 4 spells, so not gonna call the deck bad, but things are not looking good. We're gonna definitely try some different builds of it. I think our current build is fine, but we could definitely make some improvements after seeing how it plays out in one game. Swath Cutter Giant. That card is impressive here. Bigger than anything I'm doing, that's for sure. Pretty nice trade setup for me here. We're going to be able to kill this guy off. Yep, we can see. That is not when you want to see a Mesmerist, I will say. Okie doke. Let's change the deck a little bit. Demotion's coming out for Luminous Bonds. That was probably a bit too cute. I think we're going to run the 3rd Pack Beast over a Maximize Altitude. And that'll justify our 17 lands a bit more. We'll have a little bit more business at the top end, because I really don't want to cut our colored sources too much. With 4 2-drops, I don't think I can go below 8 sources, even though I really wish I could. Thinking about the deck more, what blue cards would I want that I don't already have? That's an interesting question for sure. Unexplained Disappearance is definitely a potential card that you can run. But I just think I need as many 2-drops as I can get. I have 7 2-drops, so we're gonna see how this works out. I think the deck is good though. Parhelion Patrol might not be the best in this particular build because I didn't get as many 1-drops as I wanted. Okie doke. We're gonna keep this hand. It's definitely risky. On the draw, especially. I wish I was on the play. Playing against Golgari, maybe. Interesting. 1-drop. Mesmerist, looking good, my man. I really like Mesmerist in this deck. Mesmerist with Blade Instructor is just a beating. Okie doke. Gonna have to kill him before that thing can get too much value. Nightveil Sprite is just really good. It's really good in this deck too. Just make sure you don't flood out. Like, I already 5 lands, but Intrusive Pack Beast can carry the day. Hopefully I draw one of those at some point. Oh, so he's looking for lands. Banning a quality spell like that. Double take heart. Very good here. If Blade Instructor lives... The only game we've won so far is against the opponent that never hit their 4th land, but we did have a pretty clunky draw in that game. I think. I seem to recall it being relatively clunky. Maybe I'm recalling incorrectly. So he hit a tap land. Probably not what he wanted. We're playing all of our white so that we can hold up double take heart. Even after playing our shield mate. You have been mentored, Mesmerist. You are now a master of deception. So he's got 5 mana now. He could, like, deadly visit one of my guys. Brutal. Spent 5 mana to kill my 3-drop. And I'm still hitting him for 5 next turn. He milled Price of Fame? What the heck is in his hand? What do you have in your hand that you milled Price of Fame? Oh no. I am very dead, it looks like. From the looks of things. Oh, please draw Intrusive Pack Beast. Healer's Hawk. A. Okay, looks like he's jumping. If he has Ritual of Soot, I'm just going to take it like a man. Because that would make sense. But I can't really beat that card. So, we're just going to accept our fate if he has Ritual of Soot. He's deadly visiting him. Okay. Still don't understand why you would mill Price of Fame. We've kept the pressure up, though. Healer's Hawk may not look like much, but we only need a couple more hits before Double Take Heart can finish him off. He milled a Dark Blade Agent and a land. Another creature here, please. Big draw. Okay, we have too many lands in this deck. We just don't have any mana sinks. We're going to cut a land, I think. Next turn we can kill him. Opponent has been using all of their 5 mana removal spells on 2-drops and 1-drops and 3-drops. Not a good feel. I feel like we haven't drawn a very good spell to land ratio, which is making the deck look a little bit worse than it actually is. For sure. So yeah, all of our creatures are trading up with removal spells, which is kind of cool. Okay. Slow and steady wins the race. A Healer's Hawk. You know it. We're 2 turns away because of this Double Take Heart. We'll get him. This is going to be an inspired Healer's Hawk. It's going to become the Baneslayer Angel that it always wanted to become. Sure, Hired Poisoner. That's fine by me. Works for me. You monster opponent. Of course he has a Planeswalker. Is he going to -3 to kill my Healer's Hawk? Probably. You monster. Yep, such is life. If I draw a land here, I can't win, I don't think. Why? Oh, man. This is too many lands. Too many lands to win the game. Oh, man. I don't even know if it's worth playing the rest of this game. It's just going to make me unhappy. I'll do one more draw step, I guess, but... What am I can't even... I have to cut a land. I don't even know, because cutting a land is very results-oriented. Because I could definitely have an opening hand that just can't cast all of its spells. I have 3 5-drops to use my mana. It just feels so bad that he literally has a planeswalker that's going to gain him life. And oh well. It is okay. Our deck is definitely capable of winning games 2 and 3 against this slow opponent. This slow poke. None of our cards do anything here. It's just so unfortunate. But yeah. If we draw Intrusive Pack Beast into Intrusive Pack Beast, we have a shot. You're saying there's a chance. There's always a chance. A chance at glory. A chance at redemption. Yep. I could maybe win this game, but I'm just going to go to the next game. This is just brutal draw. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh. Jeez. I'm gonna add an unexplained disappearance. And cut an island. This is the type of hand that isn't great, but has a Pack Beast at the top end, so we'll keep it. We'll see how it works. I'd obviously love a 2-drop, but can't always get what we want. We have 3 lands, some spells. Can't mulligan this type of hand in limited. I think this deck is actually a legit deck, and it will work to some degree, no matter when you draft it. And I think our version is decent for a first attempt. Keep in mind, this is the first time that I drafted this deck. I am theory crafting heavily. So, and also my draws have been kind of bad. I don't want to put that as too much of a factor, but it's true. I drew a lot of lands. So, 2-drop. Boom. We're in business. Agreed. Agreed, Koten Koala. And we still almost got him. If he hadn't had the Planeswalker, if we could have killed him with our bird in like 2 more hits. He is facing down some serious aggression from the blue-white deck. He's holding up a counter spell. Little does he know Intrusive Pack Beast is coming. 6-turn clock, hype! I think the game we won kind of shows the power of the deck. We can really use Hasda Marshal better than anyone. Hunted Witness is actually a good card in this deck. Okay, Whisper Agent was actually pretty good there because I couldn't use my Luminous Bonds effectively. Hopefully no Price of Fame. I think I need to play less removal spells in this deck. I think that's one of my problems as well. I just need more creatures. Because every time I draw Luminous Bonds, it feels horrible. Because I'm Luminous Bondsing instead of developing my own game plan. So that could be something. I like to max out on 2 Luminous Bonds. Something of that nature. Okay. Get in there, 10th District Guard. Be the hero you were always meant to be. Luminous Bonds is also garbage against Vraska. Nightveil Predator, eh? You think I'm scared of that opponent? I will happily 2-for-1 myself to kill that. Get out of here, bud. Be tapped. I'm going to make an extra 1-1 with my Hazda Marshal. Oh, man. Hired Poisoner. Okay. Jesus, that's an aggressive attack. What the heck? Probably have another one of the Whisper Agents. Take down this Hired Poisoner. Price of Fame. Oh, poor, poor opponent. Get destroyed. Youngling. Young opponent. Thou shalt learn the power of the Pack Beast. Hazda Marshal's also going to do some decent work. Nightveil Predator, my old nemesis. My old foe. That actually stopped me. Oh, gosh. No! At least we're learning more about how to draft this deck. I think there's definitely a deck here. Somewhere hidden. We need to prioritize creatures more. Luminous Bonds isn't that good in this deck. You can literally get away with only creatures and combat tricks, I think. Ah, the 5/5 flyer. I knew this would come. Yep. Yikes. Can't even really complain this time. He's just got me completely stuffed. A lot of my draws are irrelevant anyway. So what are my thoughts? I think I took Demotion over a creature, and that just completely ruined me. I needed another creature that's in this deck. I think you really need to make sure you run 16 lands, maybe even 15 in this deck. You need more 1-drops. I should have taken the Hunted Witness when I had the chance. And don't draw 10 lands. Those are the lessons. But we're going to play round 3, so... How do we want to change the deck? We didn't even come... I mean, we could have definitely won that match. Flight of Equinox has potential. I think we're going to go down to 15 lands. Try it out. 15 lands. I'll try again. Of course I'll try again. You always try. We'll go down to one of those. 2 Luminous Bonds. Let's group creatures separately. See what we're looking at. Okay, never mind. We're gonna keep 16 lands. We're not that crazy. We're not insane. We are not insane. So we're cutting the Luminous Bonds. We have 5 non-creatures. We have 15 creatures. I really don't want to add more non-creatures. I'm just looking for creatures to add. Shoot. We're going to just play the Pack Beast, I guess. Oh, right. We still have 3 slots left to fill. I think you only want 1 Maximize Altitude, maybe. Yeah, Dazzling Lights just doesn't really do much in this deck, because you want combat tricks that can help you push through damage. And our creatures are all really low power, so we're not even going to be killing their guy a lot of the time. We're going to try the double Unexplained Disappearance. I needed to take more creatures in this draft. I was taking the Luminous Bonds too highly for the deck, so it messed me up. Because if I could replace this Luminous Bonds with like the Luminous Bonds that I'm not running with another creature, which I could have because the Luminous Bonds is always in a good pack. Blade Instructor is also really key for this archetype. I mean, you learn a ton the first time you play an archetype, obviously, especially one that's not been fleshed out, like one that's not obvious in the set. So I think, like, since I like experimenting, I think I might just try the deck again right after this, see how it works out. Or maybe, like, yeah, I just really think that this deck could work. So, I think it's got potential, for sure. Yeah, Take Heart is, like, better than Luminous Bonds in this deck. I agree. Take Heart is really good. Like, you don't have to take it aggressively because you'll get them on the wheel. But this card is really good in the deck, really key. Maybe Flight of Equinox is... I don't think Flight is good. I'm not sure if I want Intrusive Pack Beast in this deck either, because it makes it harder. Okay, we're on the play. See what this deck can do. Okay, we're keeping. We have... This is the ideal curve. Mesmerist into Blade Instructor is what this deck is all about. If you have a 1-drop before that, it's even better. That's why the... That's why I really like prioritizing 1-drops. But you can't always get the 1-drops, so... If we'd taken that Hunted Witness and then a Blade Instructor over a Luminous Bonds, this deck would have been way better. That's what I'm just gonna say. So, we're learning a lot so that you can try this deck out at your FNM and crush people when they don't see it coming. It's a very redundant deck. Lots of moving pieces. Child of Night. Boom, we totally got him. Let's just attack. This Mesmerist is so good with Blade Instructor. It just makes it impossible for them to ever block you. And then we can Blade Instructor up our 3/3. Like it's turn 5. If we draw a pack beast, we just win the game on turn 5. We'll take it. Like he just can't block. He literally can't block. This card says you cannot block. Basically. Okay, so he's going to trade his bats off for my Blade Instructor, unless I draw a combat trick. Yep. A little bit unfortunate. Oh, man. I can't shake the feeling that if I drew more spells than lands, I would just crush my opponents. It's just a feeling I have. Like if I draw a spell, like if I draw a pack beast this turn, or something. Mesmerist is so good in multiples too. Oh man. 7 lands, 5 spells. I don't like to keep track of that, but I just want I really the thing is I'm inventing a new deck, and when you're inventing something new, you don't want it to seem like worse than it is. So I just want to keep things in perspective, if that makes sense. Like if I drew this guy a turn before, the game was over because I spent my turn 5 doing nothing. But now the game's basically over. And, I mean, I can't say that because he can actually cast spells on his turn, but okay, yep, you got me. I'm discarding another great spell. So I think I understand how to draft the archetype a lot better. I've got him not dead on board because he can chump block still. Thank you, Cotton Koala. I like to try things that are new. Fresh ideas, as they say. I'm going to make him start discarding creatures to the Charnel Troll. Because if he ever attacks me with Charnel Troll, I can just kill him, basically. Ooh, so he's putting counters on his Charnel Troll. Thank you so much for the follow, Cotton Koala. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He's starting his attacks. Probably means he can't keep the fuel. Can't keep fueling the beast. Yeah, I'm happy to help Cotton Koala. So I could attack with everything, double shrink this guy, then he goes trade, trade. I could shrink these 2 guys. He goes eat this guy, chump, chump, Take 3. I could just do this and hope this guy dies. Honestly, not a horrific strategy. I was really kind of hoping for a spell. Yes! The Charnel Troll has been defeated! Yes! It's like defeating an end boss. Opponents also got lands. I can relate, opponent. Oh no. Okay, it's a Siege Worm. The problem is like... Yes! This is what I was meant to be doing! Yes! Things are so sweet. So sweet. Boom! There we go! Intrusive Pack Beast for the win. Heck yeah. Okay, so he's got a lot more big guys than I have. I think I want this last Luminous Bonds over Maximize Altitude. I think Maximize Altitude is bad in the deck. Probably. Okay. This is a mulligan. I need to aggressively mulligan with this deck. This is a keep. Topping it. I also have not been mulliganing aggressively enough because I didn't know what the deck needed in an opening hand, but now I do. Now I do. You need to have a 2-drop into a 3-drop, or you can't win. Pretty much. Pretty much. You need to punish the slower starts. Where were you last turn, Hasda Marshall? Oh, man. I wish I had more 1-drops in this deck. That is another flaw, for sure. Man, the spicy tech against the Mesmerist. Definitely just going to start deploying my board. Getting the guys out. The squad. Blade Instructor. Instructor. You have been instructed in the art of combat. What's the flavor text? Watch carefully. The gap between death and victory is thinner than your blade. Eye of the Tiger. Nice. Luminous Bonds that guy. Play my Hasda Marshall. Get in there. So yeah, this is what the deck wants to be doing. Because one of the things that brought me to this deck was I saw cards like Hasda Marshall and Hunted Witness, and they don't have a home. But if you have a Vidalcan Mesmerist on turn 2, you can get in for like 6 points of damage with Hasda Marshall, like 3 or 4 points of damage with Hasda Marshall, and make some guys, which is great, obviously. Opponent's preparing for something. We will attack. Shrink. Mentor. Make a guy. Our Helium Patrol. Can mentor up our soldier. And at this point, we're so wide that unless he plays like multiple creatures, we're in good shape. I think we've definitely learned a ton. This is the type of draft I like to do because it really just helps you learn how to do new things. It's a whole new perspective on the format. Okay, yeah, we win. We win, I think. I think we got there. Very proud. Like, this was a good land to spell ratio for us. Boom! Got the W. Let's go. baby. Got that W. Okay, what lessons did we learn? First of all, Luminous Bonds, not a huge priority. I think the first 2 copies are good. After that, way down in value. Second up, Unexplained Disappearance. I didn't really get a huge experience with it. Intrusive Pack Beast has potential. I don't know exactly how good it is in the deck, but definitely one to keep in mind. Blade Instructor is key. Vidalcan Mesmerist is key. That's the synergy you want. You want to go, ideally, any 1-drop into Mesmerist, into Blade Instructor. That's your 1, 2, 3 punch. I don't think Maximize Altitude is great in this deck. You just want to be using your Combat Tricks and Instant Speed. You want Take Hard. But anyway, that is going to do it for this draft video. Trying something new, building a new archetype from scratch. I don't think anyone else is trying this one, really. I mean, maybe someone is. I'm sure someone is, but haven't really seen it in the public eye. So thought I'd bring some attention to it. Definitely can get wins. I think we got a little bit unlucky round 2 in both of our draws. We just if you draw more lands than spells with this deck, it does suffer. So keep that in mind. Mulligan more aggressively because of that. And if you have any comments about the deck, be sure to let me know. I really do value your input, and let me know if you like it when I try these off-the-wall strategies. But that is going to do it for this draft. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time. Oh, yeah, be sure to click that thumbs up and subscribe. But yeah, see you next time.